Yo, yo, yo. Okay, let's hope that this is all up and running. I think it is. Um, Lonely Mage is in the chat. He says, "Wow, you're reacting early." Yeah, this is the first time I have a Thursday off because I took an extra day off to make sure that my washer and dryer combo was going to be delivered, and then it got rescheduled. So here we are. All right, let me make sure that my sound is good. Is it? I can't hear me. But I see my mic is moving. Right. Can I hear myself now? Oh, there we go. I'm just special. Okay. It's my headphones, not my mic. Yeah, so I also have tomorrow and Monday off because I work 4/10s, but I took Thursday as an extra bonus. Okay. All right. It sounds like my shit is all good. Let me just make sure my there it is. Okay, so you can see TCB scans in the corner. So you will be able to follow along with me here. Let me I'm gonna put this right in here so I can see chat. What up? What up? Okay, so I think everything's cooling now. We should be good, hopefully. um Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this lovely day of streaming, courtesy of TCB. Here, let's see. Some light. Okay, maybe that's too much light. I'm pasty. Um, Thank you so much for joining me on this lovely Thursday. I was hoping that the chapter would drop while I am just chilling here on my day off, and lo and behold, it did. So I am so excited for this. But I have to plug a few things beforehand. Right now, I am doing a giveaway of One Piece trading cards. So I have so many because I actively seek out buying them. But I'm a collector. So I have extra, there's like my bulk and stuff like that. But I also have like extra hollows and stuff like that as well. Plenty of them. So what I'm doing is a giveaway on my TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. There is a video that if you already are subscribed to my YouTube, if you like the video, you will be entered in a free giveaway, and I will be giving away a deck box, an OP06 deck box filled with super rares, commons, uncommons, leaders, the whole nine, to try and get more people into the game itself. I'm more or less a collector, but I enjoy the game as well. So since scalpers make it next to impossible for people to get into it because they buy up all the cards and only people who are willing to spend exorbitant amounts of money can get into it, I want to give them away to people for free. So I need you to go to my Instagram, my YouTube, and my TikTok. Follow me and subscribe on all those platforms and like the video for the giveaway, and you will automatically be entered to win. Since I'm doing 3 different giveaways, there's 3 chances for you to get one of these sweet deck boxes. So please go do that, so I can give you my One Piece cards, and they can become yours because they're really cool. They have a lot of really cool arts. Just to like name a few, like I really like this Fujitora card. It's really cool. It's a nice hollow, and I just think that it's dope. And I have extras, so I can give them away to you. There's also really cool other cards, like, you know, a really cool Don Quixote Rosinante card. Like there's so many cool cards, and I have so many of them. that I just want to make sure that other people can play the game too. And I just enjoy opening up the packs. So please do that so that way I can ship them to you. I'll ship them to you for free. It's just I will contact you if you win, and then I'll ship them right to you. So anyway, let's jump into this chapter because from what Lonely Mage is saying, it's a doozy. So let's get into it. Sorry if I still sound like a little stuffy. I had bronchitis, and so I'm still kind of getting over it. So let's jump into it. Chapter 1115, Continental Fragments. Crazy already. All right, we see Only Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 5, getting a bento from Hiyori and Otoko. That's cute. I like that. I really like the fact that Yamato is going on a pilgrimage. I think it'll be cool to see her go throughout. And for some reason, I feel like maybe a lot of people are having the same feeling. I think Yamato is going to run into the Blackbeard Pirates, which is going to be kind of crazy. So let's go right into Oda's notes. Otto's recent concert at the National Stadium was incredible. The world-traveling pop princess keeps outdoing herself. You know, I mean, it's cool to see that Oda is going and seeing Otto because, you know, she was the voice of Uta and she did all the music and everything. So I mean, it's cool that he's still going and seeing her. But anyway, if I didn't say so, like the stream, everybody. All right, let's see. The flower capital, Wano. What? So we're oh no. Am I gonna be right? Like, am I just off rip gonna fucking see this shit? The fact that we're going back to Wano is crazy. The news shakes Wano too. It's hard to believe this foreign transmission is reaching us. Now you may be wondering how he came to be known as a pirate. We found the snail in the castle among Orochi's possessions. So you were a pirate, Joy Boy, just like Luffy. You know of him, my lord? That's crazy. A jail cell at the G4 naval base. Joy Boy? Who cares? I bet you could easily beat him, right, Captain Kid? Duh, the man's already dead. That's our captain. The only thing bigger than his confidence is his belly. Yeah, I'm clearly a million times tougher than this Joy Boy. Joy Toy. It's Joy Boy, boss. No way. I'm sorry. That's so funny. This guy literally went from cosplaying as fucking as Luffy when he disappeared. And then what happened? He starts cosplaying as Kid because Kid also uh just like up and disappeared. That's so funny. That's so funny. And what's really interesting about this is it looks like he colored or has tattoos on his arm that make it look like a metal arm. Like, kids, oh my god. He's like, dude, I heard Shanks packed up Kid, like something crazy. So I'm gonna dress up as him and pretend to be him because he sure as hell is not gonna be a pirate anymore. That's so funny. Now, hear me out. As much as I shit talk Kid because it is so easy to do, like really easy. The fact that when Luffy was gone learning hockey, this guy dressed up as him. And now that Kid has disappeared, he also may be learning hockey. Now this guy dressed up as him. I'm just saying. I'm drawing that comparison even though I don't want to. I don't want to do it because I think the kid getting packed up all the time is hilarious. But there's an avenue that if you are a kid fan, you may look at this and go, he's getting hockey. He's gonna have the best hockey when he comes back. He's gonna be like post time skip Luffy hockey. He's gonna have he's gonna masters conquerors armament and observation. Who's coming back with a vengeance? Oh goodness. I can already hear it. I can already hear it echoing. Do bear in mind, I only have access to a handful of poneglyphs, but their combined narrative clearly chronicles an unbelievable history about a great war in the distant past. During that period, Joy Boy faced an enemy, the organization now known as the World Government. Wait, isn't that us? Well, he did say he was a pirate. This is crazy. I hope he joins Cross Guild with the other clowns. Yo, that would be kind of crazy. The Malo Black and all of them just being like, yeah, we're totally gonna fucking join Buggy and Cross Guild. Or even better, Cross Guild thinks that he's Kid and is like, yeah, bring him on. He's got a 3 billion berry bounty. That's great. Yo, Workery is pissed. Vegapunk. Back then, they were merely the Allied powers, a temporary coalition consisting of 20 separate kingdoms. Yo, what? Dude, he's so pissed. They're furious, dude. Mars is just exuding conquerors all over the place. Oh my goodness. No way. I mean, you have to assume that they all have it. It can be assumed that an alliance was the only feasible way to oppose the formidable faction to which Joy Boy belonged. I'm afraid that the cause of this conflict still eludes me, so I do not presume to judge the morality of the combatants. I can, however, say that this war was a clash of two opposing ideologies. Almost like one of them preferred freedom over everything, and the other one thought that mankind should be controlled. Maybe. I mentioned earlier that Joy Boy was born into a fantastical civilization. New World Zoe. Oh, holy shit. I'm telling you, Zunisha being Joy Boy's chopper and the Iron Giant being Joy Boy's Frankie starting to look pretty legit. One so advanced that it is hard to believe it existed over 900 years ago. The weapons that existed during this century-long struggle are far beyond our modern science. And then you see Carrot, Gonzo. That's amazing. And then we see the Foxy Pirates, dude. What is this fucking craziness? We're seeing everyone. What's that peanut-headed fool saying? Oh, boss, you're making me hungry. Such technology is baffling even to a genius such as myself. He's so big-headed. Yo, I will say, I think the gorilla on Foxy's crew, low-key hilarious. And therein lies our problem. Labostratum. Gotcha. Sussy, wheeze, wheeze. Huh? It's me. Edison, lower the barrier and hightail it out of there. But I can't. What if something were to happen to the Straw Hat crew? I'm gonna be straight with you. There ain't no point in the barrier no more. Not when there are monsters on this island who can ignore it. Saturn looks like he's also running through the lab, taking out all the transponder sails, and it kind of looks like there's conquerors coming off of him too. Oda bringing back everyone. Yeah, dude, it's like the Super Smash Brothers trailer. Everyone's here. We've done all we can for them. I'm gonna make sure they make it somehow. Someone's talking to Jinbei saying, "How much longer, Jinbei? My apologies, we're almost there. There's nothing to apologize for. We were busy." Is that you, Zoro? You're gonna get it later. It's probably Nami. She's probably like, "Yo, I'm gonna beat that ass, dude." Be like, your girl Robin was about to get yoked up. Oh yeah, it is Nami. Called it. Now hurry up, we're moving their ships to the blockade the northeast coast. I'll never forgive you if we get blasted out of the water after this. That's good to hear. I was worried Stella would never forgive me if I let them get caught. As if, now get your ass out of here. But I don't know what to do with myself. Now that Stella's gone, who am I meant to live for? I have no purpose. Oh shit, this is dark. This is dark. Stussy for next Nakama? He lives for Luffy? What? I don't know. I mean, that would be pretty crazy. And it would kind of fit with my fact that I think that the Rock Pirates are more like the Straw Hat Pirates. Or vice versa. Bonnie over here, just picking face. Don't let him use his sword. This geezer can cut anything. It looks like she's kicking him in the face. Sense the living voices. Bonnie. Oh, he says Bonnie, ... And then Frankie, dude. Frankie MVP, dude. Bonnie, get down. Hey, he just like gets her right up out the way. And they cut the head right off the ship. I can't maintain distorted future for very long. Wheeze, wheeze. The void century ended. With Joy Boy's defeat. Yeah, dude, look, it shows Zunisha, and then it shows the Iron Giant. How much do you intend to say, Vegapunk? He's leaving. Whoa, what's happening here? There are too many life forms up here. Wow, dude, he jumped super fucking high. And he said, but the aftermath has grander. Excuse me. But the aftermath has grander consequences. The wake of the ancient conflict scarred the world, and those scars never healed. Yo, he cut the whole egg on top of Egghead in half. Says, what the? And all the seraphim and everything are falling from the sky along with all the CP agents. This is blowing my fucking mind right now. We all know Travel between islands can be excruciatingly difficult. The seas one must travel are so vast and perilous. Most people are content to live and die at their place of birth, never experiencing any culture other than their own. Isn't that a bit obvious? Yeah, haha, everyone knows the seas are dangerous. That is common knowledge to us now. But it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago. A cataclysmic ecological disaster occurred during the Void Century. Okay, before I read further, this is where I think we're gonna get information on what happened, similar to like how Pangea happened, which makes it even more interesting that Pangea is what they named their castle in Marie Joie, because Pangea used to be a thought process that every continent on the earth was one big landmass, but then it got fractured and separated throughout the world. And there's a part of me that believes that that happened in One Piece too, and all these islands actually were closer together, and they were there was more land mass than there was water mass. And I think that that was the thing that happened in the Void Century, was it fractured the islands to split them up so much so, and the water began to rise at that moment because of the world being fractured, and that is why it will continue to rise and the world will sink into it. But that was just my thought process, and I thought about this last time and I wanted to say something, and I really want to say it before this, so if I turn out to be right, I know, but now I will continue reading finally. Okay. And the ancient world was swallowed by the ocean. We are now living atop of the remnants, continental fragments of the land masses that once were. Say what? The world of a millennia ago sleep unseen at the bottom of the ocean. I'm kinda right. I know it is hard to believe on my word alone, but there really were multiple vast continents back then. This is insane. Hey Nojiko, where do you think you're going? The whole world is at stake. Fill me in later. I've got to check on the tangerine orchard. Nojiko. This change in the world helps explain how a century of history could be censored. A feat that seems nigh impossible, but it makes sense when you consider the undeniable conclusion all the data points to. He said multiple continents. So not just one gigantic one, but multiple continents. Within a mere century, the average sea level rose by a staggering 200 meters. Holy shit. What? You're kidding me. 200? A warship's only 60 meters tall. No wonder the old world disappeared. Hey, stop listening to this crap. We have work to do. The Seraphim and all the imprisoned Cypherpole agents were spotted falling out of the lab building. We've got to rescue them. Did you hear that? His tall tale keeps getting taller. The old fart's lost his marbles. What a joke. Sakura Kingdom, Chopper's hometown. Is that really possible? Even now, the world still finds a way to keep things interesting. Oh shit, Miss Golden Week is there. That mountain is around 200 meters. You're saying something that tall would be submerged? That's awful. How many people died? I mean, again, it makes sense that, you know, that the Gorsei and all the celestial dragons would choose the red line. You know, they wanted to secure their place in the world while they tried to figure out a way around the fact that the water was rising. That begs the question, how and why did such a flood occur? Naturally, your first inclination might be to assume it was some kind of natural disaster. However, I can say for certain that it was no such thing. It was a man made calamity. You can't be serious. Vivi's like, shut the fuck up. Um, if this catastrophe was brought about by natural means, there would be records denoting early warning signs and several centuries earlier. It was a severe, world altering event after all. But all my research into meteorology, geology, ecology, and atmospheric science confirmed that there was no such natural buildup. It is impossible for such a drastic change to happen spontaneously within the span of a mere 100 years. That makes much more sense. Yeah. I mean, there's so much that this leads into, you know. That's why the ancient kingdom was probably lost. It was just sank, you know. And this also begs the question is under Enni's lobby, where there's that giant hole, I wonder if that is where the ancient kingdom is, or if that's where you can go down and actually visit the old areas uh, of, you know, because that was deep, probably about 200 meters. So, I mean, there's a possibility that there's a window down into that world, meaning the cause lies elsewhere. My suspicions were confirmed a few days ago when I analyzed the world's current sea levels. This will be hard to accept, but that disaster 800 years ago was caused by ancient weapons, technology capable of sinking the world. And that very same firepower evidently still exists, just waiting to be used again. In other words, the Great War, which ravaged the world during the Void Century, is still ongoing. Holy shit. This is so fucking good. Holy shit. This like whole thing is just crazy. This felt like a really long chapter. I mean, it was very lengthy in words and stuff like that. I mean, the fact that even Wano's hearing this is just bananas, you know? And all the Gorosei using their conquerors, all of the fucking, you know, shit that is going on. And the fucking lore, dude. The fact that Venus Juro ended up having to jump up so fucking high, cut the whole lavostratum in half, letting out the seraphim and everything else. Um, Pretty crazy. That's yeah, like I mean, that's very much a possibility. My crazy thought after reading, what if we uncover what the One Piece world used to look like and we find out it used to look like our world? Now, there is a possibility of that in some sense. Now, the One Piece world is much more vast. Like we know it's so much bigger than our world. Um and have so much more as far as like land mass and stuff like that. Like the islands are much more vast and things like that. But I mean, it's not out of the question, which is probably the craziest thing is, if there were vast continents that, were divided into all these little islands, it would make sense. And like, even something similar to, you know, uh what had happened is like, you have another thing I like is the fact that when we see the seraphim falling out of the sky, we only see one of them is in a bubble. We can't see the other ones, but I assume they're all captured in bubbles. Um, um, I do like though, and again, Dragon Man, King, and Sabo's taking tips from Dragon as well. The three dots, while the whole rest of the Revolutionary Army is shocked. You see Ivankov, you see Morley, all of them, even Koala, but Dragon and Sabo have the same reaction. Like it's just crazy, you know, to think. And what's so crazy, I think, is like is our future. It's possible. I mean, and if you think about some of the crazy stuff that's happening on different islands and stuff like that, think about this. Okay, one last chapter. I think it was last chapter. We saw Long Ring Long Land, and they talk about how the rising sea level or like the rising tides makes it possible for you to cross from one area to the other. That means that Long Ring Long Land probably at some point was completely just fine. It was just out there, You could walk from one island to the other and everything was Gucci, And, you know, you have that, you have Water 7, is the biggest advocate for the world sinking because their whole city is built on top of the past city and will be continuing to build up basically. Um, I mean, Annie's lobby, the fact that there's such a huge dip in water, right into the center that literally basically could probably take you back down to the original continent, you know, which would be really interesting. That could be the entrance and why it's guarded so heavily. Annie's lobby, Impel Down, Marineford, they're in this triangle, and then there's like the dip in the middle, you know, and then each one of them could be a spot where the old continent used to be, and that's the entrance down to the old continent, you know. Um, Hell, I mean, there's just so many. Wano, the fact that Wano's borders are up so high. You know, could it be that Joy Boy, before he left, decided to stretch it up so that way by the time he thought that he could get come back around, or the next Joy Boy could come, it would be protected. There's just so much that goes into this. It's just fucking crazy. Um, I mean, the red line, everything. My mind is going crazy with all the possibilities. I mean, there's a possibility that there's just so much world underneath. I mean, oh, Tequila Wolf, you know, they're building a bridge from one area to the other. What are they doing? You know, why are they building such a massive bridge? Could it be to unite the areas that used to be one huge continent? And what are they building off of? How are they supporting it? Are they building it on the ruins of the old civilization that was under them, that were all a part of the same continent? Like, this is blowing my fucking mind, to be honest. Um, it's insane. And then the fact that Emu is there, and it just says right at the end that the Great War which ravaged during the world during the Void Century is still ongoing. Man, Saturn's pissed. Workery's pissed. Mars is pissed. The only one, and Venus Juro's pissed. The only one we haven't seen is old fucking Worm Boy. And this is crazy. And I am just ecstatic. The fact that there is no break makes me so happy. Like, ancient weapon technology capable of sinking the world. I wonder if that is the mother flame, instead of the mother flame being, the thing that powers Uranus, what if it's the thing that powers all the weapons? What if there's multiple mother flames? One that powers Pluton, one that powers Uranus. What if one of them needs to be with Shirahoshi for her to fully unlock her power? You know? Like there's so much that goes into this. Or what if the mother flame is Uranus? You know, maybe we have one that's a battleship, one that's sea king, user, and then one of them is a power source. And that could be what, when we were looking at the Enel cover story, that like sun looking thing that he was looking at is actually the mother flame. And you had the things below, you had the things above, like you on like sea level, and then you had the thing above, and the thing above was just the mother flame itself. And it could also be the treasure of Marijua, and they gave it to Vegapunk to basically be able to weaponize, and that's what they did. It's just, this has so much, possibilities, and it's like, where do you go from here? Like this is this is perfect because this is so Oda. He will give you so many answers and simultaneously give you 70 million more questions. Like, you know, we know that Joy Boy was the first pirate. We know that he was the enemy to the kingdoms. We get this really interesting depiction above where you see what looks to be these three crowns, you know, and then you see Joy Boy jumping above them, you know, and you see Zunisha hearing all this information. It says it can be assumed that an alliance that was the only feasible way to oppose the formidable faction of which Joy Boy belonged. I'm afraid that the cause of this conflict still eludes me, though I do not presume to judge the morality of the combatants. However, I can, however, say that this war was a clash of two opposing ideologies. I mentioned earlier that Joy Boy was born into this fantastical civilization. And then, it's saying that the 20 kingdoms were back then were merely the allied powers, a temporary coalition consisting of 20 kingdoms. It's so crazy. Yeah. This just is an insane turn of events. I hope Stussy gets out too. It seems like within the next like 2 or 3 chapters. I mean, who knows? Because we're not quite sure what will become of this, but man, just the fact that just the fact of all of this happening is insane. It says the conflict scarred the world and those scars never healed. So it seems to me that they did something during that conflict that resulted in destroying something that couldn't be. And like the panel that says with Joy Boy's defeat, showing the ancient robot and Zunisha just leads me to believe my theory even more so that Zunisha's the chopper and you know Frankie is the fucking Iron Giant, at least for Joy Boy's crew, because they seem to be kind of set at the Joy Boy's defeat type thing. And they said, one said, I'm sorry, Joy Boy. And one said, like, he betrayed Joy Boy, or, this is very interesting. There's just so much to go through, you know. Holy shit. I wonder if there's any comments at the bottom already. No, there is not. It's fresh. Man, so this is crazy. I'm enjoying this thoroughly. This is a crazy turn of events. I also just love how fucking pissed off the Gorosei are. Holy, you know, Luffy it's still running away from Warkery and he's just pissed. Um, he's basically just turning into a plow, like a fiery plow. And then Mars is just exuding Conqueror's hockey, and it looks like at one point, um, uh, Saturn is doing the same thing. So, bro, Zoro and Jinbei need to hurry up though, for realsies. Um, so I will say, and here's what I'll do. I'll give this chapter my ranking. Um, I think this chapter is an easy, and I mean easy, 10 out of 10. Like this is a really great chapter to me. Like I thought that this did incredibly well. Um I loved it. I thought that it was very well done. I thought that everything that was being told to us was just incredible. Um I like all the information, seeing the Gorosei so pissed, seeing Venus Juro basically pull a law when he used his room on Punk Hazard. Like all of that was just awesome. Uh and just the information on the ancient kingdom and everything else just so well. Um and what's really crazy is like, obviously Dr. Kureha being here is very interesting just because hey, he's fucking, uh so old. So it's like, he out of anyone, you know, is like, hey, like this world is getting interesting because, we're getting she's been around for hundreds of years to see the sea level rise and everything, which is kind of interesting. She was the first one who pointed out, Roger was a D, what is the will of D type thing. So, that's also very interesting. Vivi shushing Big News Morgan to learn more about the ancient history when she technically is a part of it, her ancestor. All this is just to be great. And then to end on in other words, the Great War, which ravaged the world during the Void Century, is still ongoing. And to end on Emu is awesome. So, to me, this chapter is 10 out of 10. I love this. This did everything I needed it to. Um, so yeah, that was great. Yeah. Um, please like the stream if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and also please go onto all three social media platforms that I am having my giveaway on, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Please follow me over there and also find the video for my giveaway and like it so that way I can give away these cards to someone who will enjoy them, who are One Piece fans. Um, because they have really cool art, they're really fun to collect, and they can get you started playing the game and doing tournaments and fun stuff like that. So, um, please make sure to go do that. And if you don't win this time, just know I have so many cards. I will be doing this again. So far, it seems like this is having a pretty good turnout. So I would like to do it again in the near future and make it so that, you know, uh, all these people have more shots to win these cards. So thank you very much for supporting. I have been doing a little bit better on TikTok. I am over 700 followers. And I just appreciate all the support. Thank you, Lonely Mage in the chat. And if you have any thoughts yourselves, please comment them down below. I try to comment back on everything. So if you have thoughts, share them with me. Um, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for going on this journey with me. This is the first time where I'm able to do it right as it drops. So I've had a lot of fun doing this. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys next week when the next chapter drops and shit goes off the rails. Jana.